Well, last week it was a huge result for the 5 block properties that went under the hammer, and buyers advocate Nicole Jacobs was there for all the action. Nick, it's great to have you with us. I've got to ask, were you surprised that all 5 houses sold last week?
I wasn't actually, Shelley. I really felt that once the reserves were set quite low, that everybody would actually sell, and I think they were really good value for money.
Nick, what's the tension like in that room? Because you must feel when you're bidding like all eyes are on you. What if the whole nation's eyes are on you?
I love it. I love to go to auction. It's one of my passions, and every weekend I'm doing it. So it is tense in that room though. It's compounded because you're all in a small space. But I think that, you know, at the end of the day, it's what we do, and that's why we represent clients on the day.
It is great to see a room full of professionals there. I know we had some wonderful owner-occupier buyers as well, which is fantastic because their heart's in it. But to see the advocates go at it, you know, that's entertainment for me.
Well, it's certainly entertainment. I think that on the front of people being able to buy it themselves, what we did see was some emotional buying. And I guess that's a good reason why you would use someone like myself to actually bid for you, so you're non-emotional.
We make sure we go to auction, obviously, during the peak buying and selling period. We're getting close to Christmas now. So what should you do if you're thinking of selling before Christmas? Is it a good idea?
I know some people would think it's crazy, but you can actually still sell before the end of the year. But you're going to have to do it in the next week. You're going to have to get your property on the market to meet that 14th and 21st of December timeframe. But there's still time, which is good to know.
So what about from the buyer side? Does that mean that they can basically go on holidays and forget the whole thing as well? Or can they approach and see if they can still get a buy away?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that it's really important that people do actually look at their selling to consider offers prior, because it's not often how long your property's been on the market, it's how long the buyers have been in the market. We know that there's lots of buyers out there that have missed out during the year, and so they're keen to actually buy a property, and they may well give you a really firm good offer prior to auction.
So what if you don't sell at auction?
Look, I would say don't panic, because historically between mid-December and the middle of January, we actually have a high volume of sales. So there's still deals to be done. And of course, on the flip side of that, of course, is that if you're a buyer, I love this time of the year because you're actually able to go out there and scope out a bargain, but sense what the motivation of that seller is. And if they need to meet a time frame because they've already bought, a really good time to buy as well.
It's all about volumes as well. So when in the new year do listings and volumes tend to pick up again and people are back from holidays and starting to put their properties up?
Volume comes back around, all the agents are already listing for that at the moment, but they'll actually come on the market around February when everybody's back from school holidays. March is traditionally when we'll see that first big auction weekend, so they'll be out in force then.
I guess the sale is one thing, but you can always negotiate your settlement terms, can't you? If you don't want to shift before Christmas, at least sell, but then you can have an extended settlement beyond that.
That's right. Knowing you've sold before Christmas, you can actually relax around that Christmas table and know where you're going. Settlement terms are a great way to negotiate, because if somebody actually says, well, I'm going to give you less, but I'm going to marry that settlement up for you, then that's gold as far as someone knowing that they've sold.
How many auctions have you got today?
Well, actually, I'm observing today, Shelley, so that I'm out there having a look at my competition, potentially, at other auctions before the end of the year.
Which is, again, great advice for anyone, isn't it? If you're thinking of bidding at an auction, or perhaps you're going to auction for yourself, just go and get calm with the scenario and get comfortable.
You need to know what's happening in the marketplace, and to get confidence from that, you need to be there and actually look at what's happening. Have a look at different auction styles, have a look at who's in the market. I can guarantee that when I go out to an auction to observe, I see the same faces every time, so I kind of have a very good feeling of where their top mark is, so that's really good news to find out.
It is, it's all research, isn't it?
All research.
We'll have a wonderful day in the office.
Why, thank you very much, I will.